Remember, people will usually respond better to positive feedback than to criticism. Being genuine and sincerely interested in others is the best way to make friends. Your smile is a powerful tool that can win hearts and create a positive impression. The most important sound a person can hear is their own name, so remember it. When you show others you are interested in them, they will usually respond in kind. Kind words and a gentle approach can work wonders. Recognizing and admitting our mistakes is a vital step in personal growth. People often prefer to think they came up with an idea themselves, rather than feeling like they're being told what to do. When you argue with someone, you risk alienating them instead of winning them over. Listen more and talk less. You'll learn more and make others feel valued. If you want to influence people, talk in terms of their interests, not yours. If you really want to make an impression, allow others to talk about themselves. Show your appreciation to others, and they'll be more likely to help you. Make others feel important, and they will respond positively to you. Avoid making others feel wrong or cornered if you want to maintain a positive relationship. Encourage people to share their thoughts. You'll gain their trust and respect. People love a compliment, especially when it's sincere. Even small acts of kindness can have a big impact on people. Your personal happiness is largely determined by your own thoughts and attitudes. No matter what the disagreement, there's usually some common ground that can be found. People are not persuaded by arguments, but by understanding their perspective and their needs. The desire to feel important is a fundamental human need. If you arouse enthusiasm in others, they are more likely to follow your lead. When you can see things from another person's perspective, you can win their respect and influence their actions. Being a good listener is one of the best ways to make friends. By encouraging others, you help them to feel confident and valued. Being curious about others is a simple yet powerful way to foster connection. Admitting when you're wrong can disarm potential conflicts. It's always more effective to praise people for their positive traits than to criticize their negative ones. When we show genuine interest in others, we cultivate strong relationships. Making people feel important and valued is the key to their hearts. People want to feel heard, understood, and appreciated. Listening does all three. When you let others speak about their interests, they are more likely to think positively of you. Compliments can open doors to people's hearts. Genuine enthusiasm can create a magnetic attraction. Finding something to admire in someone else can help form a positive connection. Arguments can't be won because even if you win the argument, you might lose the relationship. By appealing to someone's noble motives, you inspire them to be their best. Change can be initiated with a friendly approach and sincere appreciation. When you express honest appreciation, you win friends. Let others feel that the idea is theirs. To influence people, one must talk about what they want and show them how to get it. Treat people with kindness and respect, and they'll likely return the favor. To gather honey, one must avoid kicking over the beehive. Appreciation and encouragement are often more effective than criticism. By taking an interest in others, you make yourself more interesting. The sweetest sound to anyone's ears is the sound of their own name. Expressing sincere appreciation can create lasting friendships. When you encourage others to talk about themselves and their achievements, they'll feel valued. To build relationships, the key is to be genuinely interested in other people. The sound of one's own name is the most delightful and significant sound in any language to them. Unwavering enthusiasm, combined with common sense and tenacity, is the attribute that most often results in success. If we despise our enemies, we're granting them control over our peace of mind, appetites, health, and overall happiness. Don't worry about those who oppose you, worry about the ones who flatter you excessively. The only approach to get anyone to do something is by making them desire to do it. Avoiding argument is the only certain way to win it. The purpose of all forms of art is the delight in bringing joy to others. Feeling pity for yourself and your current situation isn't only a waste of energy, but also the most detrimental habit you could develop. You can't force anyone to understand you, like you, or remember you. All this starts when you understand, remember, and like others. Don't strive for perfection. Anticipate mistakes, failures, differences in viewpoints, and instances when you won't live up to your own standards. The person not interested in their fellow humans encounters the most challenges in life and inflicts the greatest harm on others. All human failures originate from such individuals. Realize that criticisms behave like homing pigeons. They always come back home. An argument is often a cry for attention, but it should not always be acknowledged. The best way to discover yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Remember that everyone you meet is afraid of something, loves something, and has lost something. If we eliminated the small talk from our conversations, imagine how much time we could save. Our fatigue often comes from worry, frustration, and resentment rather than work. You will never achieve true success unless you like what you are doing. No one is more persuasive than a good listener. Don't be quick to offer advice. Sometimes all a person needs is a hand to hold and a heart to understand. Celebrate every improvement, no matter how minor. Be hearty in your approval and generous with your praise. We often possess more courage than we ever thought we possessed. Today is life. The only life you're certain of. Make the most of today. We often fantasize about an imaginary rose garden beyond the horizon instead of appreciating the roses blooming outside our windows today. Even God doesn't plan to judge a person till his last days, so why should you or I? Many believe that they would be happy if they were in some other place or had some other job. But that's doubtful. Therefore, extract as much happiness as you can from what you are doing, and don't delay being happy until some future date. Knowledge doesn't become power until it is utilized. Most of the significant achievements in the world have been accomplished by people who kept trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. The only way to persuade anyone to do anything is by making the other person want to do it. Criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes them strive to justify themselves. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's precious pride, hurts their sense of importance, and provokes resentment. When dealing with people, we must remember we are not dealing with logical creatures. We are dealing with emotional beings, bristling with prejudices and driven by pride and vanity. Do your best. Then use your metaphorical umbrella to shield you from the rain of criticism. The only way to conquer fear is to face it and to do the thing you fear. If you don't, you will have to face it again. The best way to prepare for tomorrow is to concentrate all your intelligence and enthusiasm on doing today's work superbly. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. The person who seeks all their applause from the outside places their happiness in the hands of others. We all have potential we don't know about. We can do things we don't even dream we can do. Your happiness or unhappiness doesn't depend on what you have, who you are, where you are or what you are doing. It depends on what you think about. A man forced to change his opinion against his will holds the same opinion still. There is only one way to get anyone to do anything, and that is by making the other person want to do it. The essence of all forms of art is to find pleasure in giving pleasure to others. Everyone is seeking happiness, and there's a surefire way to find it, by controlling your thoughts. Happiness doesn't depend on outward conditions, but on inner conditions. Being critical is often easier than being correct. The principles I advocate for aren't my own. I borrowed them from Socrates, Chesterfield, and Jesus, and I put them in a book. If you don't like their rules, which ones would you use? Fear not the ones who argue, but the ones who evade. What we have in life isn't as important as what we do with what we have. Every person's life is a fairy tale written by God's fingers. To reach your full potential, you must focus your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Patience and time will do more than strength or passion. The secret to being interesting is to be genuinely interested in others.